Hey guys, welcome back to another Battlefield 6 tips video, and today I want to go over some more gameplay mechanics that you might not know existed in the game, or that the game at least doesn't tell you. I've already done a similar video a few weeks ago, so if you haven't seen this one yet, be sure to check it out as well. And today we're gonna start with the scope glint and how it works in Battlefield 6. Scope glint is this distinct reflection that you can see when a sniper is aiming down sights and is roughly looking into your direction. And whether this scope glint appears or not is not defined by the optic that is used on the weapon, but instead only by the weapon itself. Which means every sniper rifle in Battlefield 6 has scope glint, no matter if you use a 6x scope or only a small 1x red dot. The glint will always be there and it will always have the same intensity. The only way to go completely unnoticed as a sniper is by using the iron sights. The other way around, this also means that none of the other weapon categories have scope glint, also no matter which optic you use, so you can use an 8x on a DMR for example, and it won't give away your position through a scope glint. And if you were wondering what this rainbow glow is around the scope glint that you can see sometimes but not all the time, this only appears when you are within the sweet spot of a sniper, so the range within which one shot to the upper body will kill you. This range differs from rifle to rifle and can be found in the description of the weapons, and if you see this at distance, then you should definitely try to get behind cover. Next up, there is an attachment that lets you use the grenade launchers of the Assault and Support class as underbarrel launchers. This attachment is called Underslung Mount, can be found in the underbarrel attachment slot, and is available for assault rifles and carbines. It lets you equip the HE and thermobaric launchers of the Assault class, but not the breaching launcher, and also the smoke grenade launcher of the Support class directly to your weapon. And this allows you to access it much faster compared to switching to the single gadget. However, you still need to equip the launcher in one of your gadget slots, otherwise the mount won't work. So it will not free one of your gadget slots so that you can use it for something else. It only provides faster access to the gadget during a match. But if you're using the launchers a lot, this attachment might be worth a try. Moving on, there are two things I already liked in former Battlefield games and that I always like to give as a tip, so if you've been watching my videos for quite some time, you might know both of these already. And the first one is that you can see the current fire mode of your weapon in the crosshair. Most weapons in Battlefield 6 have two fire modes, single and automatic fire, and some even have three fire modes, like the Quad for example. This one has auto, burst and single fire. And to change the selected fire mode, you simply press B on PC, no matter if aimed down sights or not, and on consoles it's D-pad down, but only when aimed down sights. On consoles, unfortunately, you cannot change the fire mode when not in ADS. In the bottom right, you can then see 3 bullets for auto fire, 2 for burst and 1 for single fire, but the more simple way to tell the fire mode of your weapon is directly through the crosshair. Because if it has 4 lines, then your weapon is in automatic fire. If the upper line is dashed, then it's in burst fire, and if the upper line is completely missing, then your weapon is in single fire. And that applies to each and every weapon in Battlefield 6, no matter which fire modes are available or no matter how many fire modes it has. It's always the same pattern, and it has the advantage that the crosshair is always in the middle of your screen, so always in your line of sight, and you won't have to look down to the bottom to check your fire mode. So if you're switching weapons a lot, for example, or you like to switch fire modes a lot, or you are not sure what kind of weapon you have picked up in Battle Royale, you can easily see if it's an automatic weapon or a single fire in the crosshair. And the second tip I always love to give is that you can bind steady scope to your aim down sights button. So when you use a sniper rifle and you aim down sights with it, you can hold breath while holding shift on PC and L3 on consoles, and this will steady your scope so your weapon won't have as much sway, which makes it a lot easier to aim. And what you can do is that you go to settings and then either mouse and keyboard or controller, depending depending on the input you use. And then you go to infantry/passenger keybinds and scroll all the way down to steady scope. And here you can bind your aim down sights key to this function as well. So for me on PC, that's the right mouse button. And what this does is that my soldier holds breath in the moment I'm aiming down sights with a sniper rifle, and I won't have to hold or toggle an additional button anymore. And this is so useful when you play as a sniper, especially on controller, since this makes it a lot easier. And in general, it also makes it a lot easier to hit your targets. And then lastly, 4 little quick tips. First of all, there's one that makes it easier for you to know if you need to run from an incoming grenade or not, because there is, well, let's call it a color code for grenades in Battlefield 6. And that means all lethal grenades, so the ones that will deal damage to you or kill you, like frag or anti-tank, appear as red dots, and all non-lethal grenades, like flash or stun for example, will appear as yellow dots. This way you can always tell what kind of grenade is coming your way and if you need to run from it or not. And then in the next 2 tips, I want to build up on tips that I had already given you in my last video. So here we start with the AT mines, where in the last video I talked about how you can fill up your own AT mines when picking up enemy mines as an engineer. But of course you can also simply destroy them, and there are 2 fun ways to do this without wasting your ammunition. And the first one is to use the repair tool when you are an engineer, so you can simply burn them away, I guess. And the other way is to use the defibrillator when playing as a support. And the defibs are actually my favorite here, because zapping AT mines out of existence, that's a completely different thing to do, and it always looks great from the outside. And then the second tip that I already talked about is how smoke from smoke grenades and a smoke launcher breaks any kind of spotting. And here's something you should also know, is that the airburst incendiary launcher of the support class has the same effect. So if you don't want to run the smoke launcher and want something that is a bit more aggressive gadget instead, then you can also use the airburst launcher, and when you bring this fiery smoke between you and your enemy, then they will also not be able to spot you manually. You will also not give away your position when firing your weapon, and they cannot lock onto your team's vehicles that are behind this cloud of smoke. So it gives you all the benefits that the normal smoke has as well, but it also deals damage to your enemies. You should just be careful to not be within this cloud of smoke as well, because it will also deal damage to you. But this gadget is actually a lot more useful than it might seem at first glance. And then lastly, one tip to spotting enemies or to marking situations. If you are not able to spot an enemy or a dangerous situation because they're not within your line of sight, then you can simply open the big map and then set a marker right on this map by using the spotting button. And then your teammates will be able to see this marker in world as well. So this way you can warn them from situations that you cannot ping directly in world, but that you want them to know about. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video as well and you found these tips helpful. And if you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome. Thank you.